U.S. News and World Report. Notwithstanding its heavily criticized formulas for ranking law schools, the fact remains that the U.S. News and World Report's law school rankings have become the authority on the relative value of a JD from each ABA school in the country. And as a result, virtually every law school has had to kneel at its altar or suffer its wrath. Accordingly, it is well known that for most law schools, striving for a high ranking consumes the bulk of their marketing budgets. And, as critics contend, the quest for climbing the charts has led to the alleged falsification of employment data, the unnecessary increase in tuition, as well as various bait-and-switch schemes benevolently termed merit scholarships. Critics also contend that the quest for a high ranking has brought a host of unintended consequences with respect to a few key areas: employment statistics, LSAT scores, GPAs, and expenditures per student. One controversial way in which law schools have endeavored to capture students with higher LSAT scores is the practice of promoting merit scholarships. With merit scholarships, students may have the school pay their tuition insofar as they maintain a particular law school GPA. Although in theory the concept appears normal, in practice it has brought increased scrutiny. Critics of the system note that many law schools, as many as 80% by some accounts, abuse the system. The sticking point becomes the fact that virtually all law schools grade on a curve, and the practical reality is that most students on merit scholarships eventually lose them. And frequently this happens to students who perhaps could have entered a law school of a higher caliber. Another source of concern is that to date there are no recorded statistics with regards to how many law students lose their merit scholarships each year. This issue, amongst many, raises serious questions about the transparency of the law school industry. Critics also contend that the raw data given to U.S. News and World Report is misleading and in some cases fraudulent. There are a number of ways in which law schools are known to inflate the employment statistics of its students after graduation. It is alleged that some have hired their graduates for part-time minimum wage jobs to be able to statistically claim them as being part of those employed within 9 months. And according to the class action lawsuit filed against the New York Law School, law schools routinely count a graduate working part-time as a barista at Starbucks as among those to be counted as employed. Another algorithmic factor drawing scrutiny from critics is the role of U.S. News and World Report's factoring of the metric, expenditures per student. This metric is designed to track how much money a law school spends on each student. This is measured in large part by its financial outlays of large amounts of capital on expensive libraries, buildings, and teacher salaries. According to some, law schools that wish to climb the charts figure that an easy way to do so is to simply spend their way to the top. Although this metric only comprises 9.75% of the ranking algorithm, it should be noted that the close proximity of scores amongst various law school clusters can lead to massive upheavals in the rankings. Between the years of 1989 through 2009, college tuition increased by 71%, whereas during the same period, law school tuition exploded by a shocking 317%, and this increase has engendered a bizarre unintended consequence altogether. It is not widely known or understood that law schools that are affiliated or wholly part of a larger university with both undergraduate and graduate-level colleges as subsidiaries have to pay a tax to its own university. As a result of the burgeoning law school tuition hikes, universities see their subsidiary law schools as major cash cows with which they can subsidize their less profitable academic programs. Oftentimes, the law school deans will have to earmark some 25 to 30% of their budget or profit to the dean of the university. This can possibly explain the recent addition of UC Irvine's new law school in 2009, in spite of the anemic jobs market for attorneys.